So car charging from solar. First thing, this is great if we can get this to work, because it's really satisfying when you're driving at 70 miles an hour and you know that your car is powered entirely by the sunshine hitting the roof of your house. That is a really good feeling. There are a number of constraints and a number of technicalities around getting the car to charge from the solar, but it can certainly be done. So our go-to charger for this is the myenergi Zappi. That's a product that's been around a while, developed in the UK, and a really good bit of kit. There are some restrictions though. So in an electric car, the minimum power required to get the car to charge is 1.4 kilowatts, which is actually reasonably high. So, and then the maximum for home charging is 7.2 kilowatts, which is also pretty high. In practice, your solar tends to be somewhere along that line, maybe a 6 kilowatt peak system. But even a 6 kilowatt peak system isn't actually producing 6 kilowatts for that long. So to get effective solar charging of a car, you need to have the car plugged in during the day, and we need to accept that it's not going to charge at the full 7 kilowatts. So that typically means that we decrease the battery. It might take several days to get charged back up using only solar, because it'll only charge at the time between 1.4 kilowatts being exported and then 1.4 kilowatts stopping being exported again in the evening. So you can configure the Zappi, if that's too slow, to just prevent you from exporting. So this would be where we say, as soon as your overall system begins to export, say 100 watts of power, which is not very much, we'll then start to charge the car, which means we're buying 1.3 kilowatts from the grid to make the 1.4 kilowatt minimum, but at least we're not exporting anything. And by setting that setting, we get the car charged much more quickly. We don't waste any of our solar, but we will be buying in some from the grid to complement the solar. And if you drive high mileage and you're away during the day, it's quite hard to achieve, because the batteries in cars typically range from like 40 to 50 kilowatt hours up to 100 kilowatt hours in the largest cars. And the battery in the house is typically 10 kilowatt hours. And the 10 kilowatt hours is there to do your house. So if you wanted to have a battery at home that you charge during the day to charge your car at night, that's a really expensive thing to do, because the battery in the house needs to have roughly the same capacity as the battery in the car. That typically is a difficult thing to achieve. But we're big fans of the myenergi Zappi, and we fit them on a lot of systems, both ways. Some people buy the car first and then feel that solar is a useful way to have free fuel all summer, and then other people will buy solar first and then realise that they've got all this excess of energy in summer and it makes sense to not buy petrol, so they'll go and buy an EV to complement the solar, but they certainly can work together well.